the process is very, very tedious and very, very hard. Number one, to write an IELTS, to test your English language, and the mark is academic standard. Then number two, you have to go and do a 1-year program, either at Sunderland, Aston University in Birmingham, or somewhere in Brighton for 1 year. It's called Overseas Pharmacist Assessment Program or conversion course. And after that 1 year, you need to understand, some of the three M's of money. There are times in your life where you make money. There are times in your life where you need to know how to manage the money that is in your possession. And there are times in life you need to start looking at how you can multiply the money that is in your possession. And if you just see that smile and they look at you eyeball to eyeball and say, thank you, my day is made. Thank you. First and foremost, I want to say thank you very much for inviting me to this podcast. And well done for the job you are doing in this city. My name is Anthony Nwakunor. By the grace of God, I'm a pharmacist by profession. I've been a pharmacist for just about 25 years now. I practice both in the UK and back home in Nigeria. I've enjoyed the profession. It has brought so much joy to me. I've worked in different area of the profession, in the industry, in the hospital, and currently in community practice. So in a nutshell, that's Anthony Nwakunor. I'm blessed with a wife and 3 children as well. And many children, that obviously look up to me as a father figure, either in the profession or spiritually. Right. So when I was in secondary school, I was a science student, and I had 3 choices of the course I would like to study. The first one was chemical engineering. Second one was pharmacy. The first one was pharmacy. Second one was chemical engineering, then medicine. And I now how to streamline this. Now, if you look closely, these courses have something in common, which is chemistry. I love chemistry so much as a student. And when I look at it, I say, I think, after seeking counseling, doing a bit of research, I just felt that pharmacy might just be the right means for me because, one, it will allow me to carry on with the subject I love in the university, because there's an aspect of chemistry in pharmacy, even at the uni level. It will also allow me to care for patients, which is something that is very dear to me. So for me, it's a win-win on both sides. Being able to do the subject I love, and also the prospects of looking after the patients and care for them once I qualify. By the grace of God, I've enjoyed every aspect of my career. I've worked at the federal, hospitals in Nigeria, and I was also able to work at the foremost pharmaceutical company in Nigeria, which is May & Baker. Then also with Sanofi Aventis, which at the time was the 3rd biggest pharmaceutical company in Nigeria. So I've actually worked, at the top level in Nigeria. So I just felt, what, why not try, and do something different and practice abroad and see what it's like to compete with people at international level. So that kind of, led me to relocate to the United Kingdom. To be quite honest, I had choices, I had three choices, either UK, US, or Canada. But as God will have it, I found myself in the UK, and the whole idea is, to practice with my peers at the international level. Yeah, so some of the surprises, I wouldn't say really it's a surprise. It's more of, I wouldn't want to also use the word cultural shock, because before I relocated, I did read about what it's like to practice in the Western world. So some of the things I saw that were quite different was, to start with, the medications that we dispense in Nigeria is slightly different to the ones that are dispensed here in the Western world, especially here in the UK. Back home, obviously things like anti-malaria, multivitamins, anti-infection drugs were very, very popular on the shelf. But recently as well, so they're having drugs for high blood pressure and diabetes. But here in the Western world, it's a whole range of medication. Talk about medication for, we had less of medication for malaria, because we don't have malaria much here in the UK. We have less for anti-infective drug, but rather we have medicine for long-term conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, cholesterol, so those are the kind of medications that I saw. And secondly, they had a wide range of medication here. Again, due to the presence of the big pharmaceutical companies in Europe, they're able to invest, and also the government is able to buy all these drugs for their citizens. So some of the drugs that were not available back home, or they are very expensive to buy, you can actually see them here on the shelf. Thanks to the NHS. That's number one. Then number two, another big difference is, I know back home in Nigeria, the number of pharmacies is not so much, but again, you can walk into a pharmacy in quote at times, and even though there's no pharmacist, you can buy some drugs. But here in the UK, if there's no responsible pharmacist on site, that pharmacy cannot operate. Then thirdly, some drugs you can buy over the counter in Nigeria, or most drugs you can buy over the counter in Nigeria with or without doctor's prescriptions. Things are changing slightly, where some drugs, especially the control ones, are bought strictly on prescription. But things like antibiotics, like amoxicillin, you can still buy it in Nigeria as of today without a prescription. Okay, but based on the pharmacist's discretion. But here in the UK, it has to be prescribed. So most drugs that are actually for only on prescriptions have to be prescribed before they can be given out. It doesn't matter who you are, it has really to be prescribed. That is the law. So it's just a slight difference, or slight change, slight difference in the pharmacy law that has to do with medication when we compare with Nigeria and the Western world, that I see as a difference that I have to live with. So I must say, the process is very, very tedious and very, very hard. Number one, we did pharmacy in Nigeria is 5 years, and after that you go for 1 year internship, and obviously go and do your national youth service serve, and so you can imagine the number of years we've invested. Now coming to the Western world, England, as the case may be, on this occasion, you are being forced, number one, to write an IELTS, to test your English language, and the mark is academic standard, and the scores are not less than 777, which is quite high. Bearing in mind that our study back home was in English, that doesn't count. Then number two, you have to go and do a 1 year program, either at Sunderland, Aston University in Birmingham, or somewhere in Brighton for 1 year. It's called Overseas Pharmacist Assessment Program, or conversion course. And after that 1 year, you now go and do what they call these days Foundation Pharmacist Training. In those days, my own days, it was called pre-reg training. So that's 2 years of your life, trying to get yourself on the register here in the UK. So I consider those 2 years as quite long and very, very tedious, and they don't come easy, because every step comes with exams, and you know what comes with exams: so much reading, so much preparation, and yeah, but thank God we're able to do it. So I mean, again, because pharmacists are easily accessible everywhere in the world, you just walk to the pharmacy and say, I want to see the pharmacist, and pharmacist is there, available to speak to you over the counter. So what I've done, is to obviously make sure I'm up to date with my CPD, continuing professional development. Make sure that my clinical knowledge is very sound, so that when patients come to see me for over-the-counter advice, over-the-counter medication advice, I'm able to give them the right advice and the right, the right medication whenever the need arises. So for me, it's all about making sure that you're up to date with your knowledge, so that you can give your best to your patients. So again, I've always been a career man, right from Nigeria. I've always been a career man and also a businessman. So whilst in Nigeria, I was able to combine, working with the multinationals. I love, moving up the ladder. So whilst I was with Sanofi Aventis, I was able to also do my own side business, and that really helped. So when I came to the UK, I said to myself, I must work for one of these multinational, for one of these big chains, and I was quite privileged that I got offered a job by Booth. So that was the first company that hired me. I did my foundation pharmacist training with Booth, worked with them for about 6 years as a pharmacy manager. So that kind of, that kind of gave me a lot of training, and prepare me for the future. So I actually worked for Booth for 6-7 years. And after that, I went to work for another big company called Asda. When I worked for Booth, they were the number one pharmacy chain in the UK. And when I worked for Asda, which then was part of Walmart, and Walmart, don't forget, is the number one, retailer in the whole world. So I've seen it all. I've worked for the big chain. So working for Asda again was to prepare me for the future. So at the point, and I said to myself, I've worked for these big chains. Even the Lloyds you mentioned that is closed down now, I'm looking for them at different times. I'm looking for the different companies. I think I can do it myself. And after a few years in Asda, I said to myself, I think I should, dive into my own business and get it done. And here am I, by the grace of God, running my own business.
Do you find this video very interesting? Then give it a like, share it to others. Then hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn on your notification. Then let's go back to the video.
Okay, so our first branch on Princess Avenue, you agree with me because you live in All. You know that Princess Avenue is one of the busiest streets here in All. It used to be under a company called Wells. So when Wells put it up for sale, we did our own assessment to check if the pharmacy will be viable for the future. When we look at the location, it's quite a densely populated area. It's quite a very popular area here in All. We felt, I think it would be a good location for us to invest. Hence, we went ahead and invested in that pharmacy on Princess Ave. Same thing with Anlabi Road. Anlabi Road is another very popular street, popular road here in All, not far away, quite adjacent to the All Royal Infirmary. So we look at the location, look at the population, and based on our assessment, we felt is the right choice for us to make. So first and foremost, as a Christian, I want to say I give God all the glory and all the honor for helping me and helping us in this journey. I cannot rule out the God factor. So the God factor has played a very big role in this journey. And also, I'm very fortunate and blessed to have a wife as well, who is also a pharmacist and has been a part of this journey. So when we went for the first one, that was the one on Princess Ave. When it comes to, in life, you have to be prepared for opportunities. In life, when it comes to money, I was teaching people about money some time ago, that there are times where you need to understand, some of the three M's of money. There are times in your life where you make money. There are times in your life where you need to know how to manage the money that is in your possession. And at times in life, you need to start looking at how you can multiply the money that is in your possession. So by God's grace, all these years we've worked in Asda, we've worked in both, we're able to save some money down. And when we not got this business, obviously we had to approach the bank, because we cannot buy it outrightly and say, look, we've got this business that we want to acquire. And the bank will not ask you, how much do you have, so that we can meet you halfway. We're able to convince the bank with a broker that we've got this amount of money, and the bank were willing to support with the outstanding balance, and that's how we're able to get the funding to start the business. So again, it's all about you getting ready to grab the opportunity when the time arises, and being a vision, having that vision that should anything happen, about got the funding to be able to meet up. By God's grace, because we've saved over the years, that was a big factor in us acquiring the pharmacy. Again, I can never remove the God factor in everything I do. Number one, you have to have faith in God as Christians for God to bless the works of your hand. Then number two, just believe that, it doesn't matter the skin of your color. It doesn't matter where you're from. Your dreams are valid. If you set your heart to do it, and with the grace of God upon your life, you can do it. Then, talking generally, one of the things that has helped us is good customer services. Now, because I've worked with these big chains and I've seen how they run their businesses, and I said to myself, I think based on what I've seen, study customers, what is it that customers really want, trying to see how I can meet the customer need. So number one thing is to make sure that you're offering very good services. Once you're offering very good services, it doesn't matter where you are coming from, people will seek you, people will come after you. So those good services, making sure that the medications are ready, making sure that we order the medication, making sure that when customers come in, we have staff availability to serve them. All these goes a long way. Those are the game changers. So if a customer comes in, we're able to give him a very good customer care. That customer will go home, tell his friend, tell his family member, oh, that pharmacy, if you go there, the staff are brilliant. Anything you need, they're able to sort it out for you. So customer care, great customer care has been a game changer. So once you deliver good customer care, customers will always come after you. Yeah, so I've always told, so leadership is very, very important. When it comes to business, you as the leader, you are the ones that will set the pace. They are looking at you, they are looking up to you. And if you're not doing the right thing, then it's potentially your followers will do the wrong things. So by the grace of God, I've been able to marry both Nigeria and the British culture together. And how do I mean? My own philosophy is, when patients come to your pharmacy or come to you, look at that patient as your sister. See that gentleman as your brother. look at that lady, that lady could be your mom or your grandmom. And if your grandmom is to come to the pharmacy, or your husband or wife is to come to the pharmacy, somebody close to you, or your friend, how will you treat that customer? You will be all out for that customer. You'll be all out. My mom is here. Oh, my dad is here. My friend is here. You want to treat him and give him that, extra care. So if you treat every other customer, irrespective of if they're your friends or if they're your, somebody related to you or not, if you treat every other customer that way, it will go a long way to make a difference. So myself, the staff are watching me. They see the way I talk to customers. They see the way I answer the phone. They see the way I'm polite with the customers. So that culture, so I was able to build a culture of politeness, of kindness, of being nice to customers. It starts from the top. So that culture has now filtered down to the staff, and that's how we are able to operate. Yeah, so again, these are some of the long-term plans of the NHS. At the moment, the GPs are quite stretched with the number of appointments. So the NHS felt, look, there's some, clinical conditions that the pharmacist should be able to manage. So sometime about 2 years ago or thereabout, these 7 clinical conditions were introduced as pharmacy first. It's been going on in Scotland for quite some time now. And, they felt, look, pharmacists are in a good place to be able to manage this condition. So our role is changing rapidly, daily. I mean, in America, it's the same thing. Australia, Canada, everybody has embraced these clinical roles of pharmacists. So again, we are happy as pharmacists, to manage those conditions that GPs, are overwhelmed with. Things like constipation. I mean, you can speak to your pharmacy, you can always manage it. Things like, I don't really want to mention all the illnesses, but there are some minor illnesses that your pharmacy is able to manage for you. So feel free, come and see the pharmacist. And the ones that we are not able to manage, we can always signpost. So yes, we have adapted over the months and over the years in preparation for moving from just checking prescription to be a more clinical pharmacist. Yeah, so obviously in my class, university back on WhatsApp group, and ever at different times we've collectively giving back and some of them are actually part of my own initiative, giving back to the university. That's the pharmacy department. Things that we think we will be very, very helpful for the upcoming pharmacist. So secondly, we are planning not just at the university level, even giving back to people in terms of making medication, because one of the biggest pop issues, challenges that we have in Nigeria is availability of medication and the authenticity of those medication. So long term, I'm looking at how I'll be able to send to Nigeria medicines that patients can vouch for, because again, these are medication. A patient is poorly, patient is not feeling fine, the last thing he wants to think about is this medicine real, is it authentic, or is it fake? So we are looking at the long-term plan, how we can make sure that our patients in Nigeria get medicines that are authentic, that will help with their clinical conditions.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so it's again, with a business like ours, I wouldn't say there have not been, challenges. It comes with its own challenges. And number one, being a business owner, you're waking up, you're thinking, how are you going to manage this business? You've got staff to manage, because you're not just managing the business, you're also managing staff, you're managing customers, you're managing everything that has to do with the business. So on very few occasions, we have staff, not we've had issues, one or two issues, with, at the very beginning, stuff that, were transferred to us, kind of disappointed us. Because of those disappointments, it put a bit of pressure on us, as the business owner, to run the business without them. That was really, really, really quite challenging. And but thank God we're able to step up, get new staff, and that has been a game changer. So yes, there were times that we're down, but we're able to keep up, and by God's grace we are still hanging on. All I can say is, like I said earlier, your dreams are valid. Anything you set your eyes to do, if that is your long-term plan, if that's your long-term goal to be a pharmacy business owner, it is very, very possible. All you need to do, number one, first and foremost, is learn. Don't jump into it, but try as much as possible to work for people that understand the business. Then based on that, you are able to plan towards owning your own business in the future. If you jump into it immediately after your graduation, you might struggle a bit because you don't know how the business runs. So work with people, work with chains, work with the big chains, work with independents. Make sure you understand how the business runs, and look at the pros and the cons, and see how you'll be able to make success out of the pharmacy business. When people come to the pharmacy, they've come with high expectation. I want that customer to leave that pharmacy, or that patient to leave that pharmacy with a smile on his or her face and a big thank you that we have been able to meet his or her expectation. That's alone is what will make me happy. Patient comes in, his expectation is met, she's happy that, look, everything I wanted today is done. And if you just see that smile and they look at you eyeball to eyeball and say, thank you, my day is made. Thank you. If you're watching this, this is courtesy of Expressions. If this video has been a blessing to you, you've enjoyed the podcast, please, I'll strongly recommend share it, like it, invite your friends and family members to watch and share, and let it be a blessing to you and the world around. Thank you.